Hey guys, this is Ken from Killer RC, and this is one of my Losi DBXLs, new buggy from Losi. A lot of guys are kind of curious about it. My initial impressions are that it's not too bad. Yeah, arms are pretty beefy. Shock towers are pretty stout. Turnbuckles are beefy. Drive shafts are about normal for a large scale. We'll see how these CVDs do. I don't. Are they going to break here? Is the pin going to break? We'll just have to find out. I'm probably going to stay with the stock engine for a little while. I got a tuned pipe coming for it, and from what I've heard, that really wakes this engine up nicely. It's a 23cc 2-bolt Chongyang CY, just like what used to come on the HPI Bajas, the radio runs. And I've got a Killer RC 7200 7.4 volt LiPo in here on the stock servos, which actually don't seem too bad. They seem to handle the higher voltage just fine. Let me turn the radio on, and nothing chatters. It's quiet as can be. Let me turn the steering here with one hand while I hold the camera with the other. This Spectrum radios, I'll definitely upgrade, or I'll get out one of my Futaba receivers and switch this over to Futaba probably. But a radio with some endpoint adjustment on both sides would certainly help, but it's not too bad. Pretty good turning radius. I would bet it turns tighter than the Losi 5. Probably not as tight as the HPI Baja. But the play in the steering is not as bad as I was expecting. There's a little bit of play there. Nothing that some fast eddy shims won't fix. I've had HPI Bajas with play just like that. The play in the steering is pretty average in my opinion. Yeah, it's not the best, but I've seen worse. Yeah, maybe a better a real turnbuckle here. A shim right here will probably help. Let me turn the radio off so I can turn this. But there's a little bit of play right up here. That might, putting a few shims in there might fix that. That's no big deal. Servo saver down here. Spring and the nut looks quite a bit smaller than the Losi 5 servo saver, but we'll see how it does when we run it. Brake discs are kind of stamped steel. There'll be some upgrades for that, I'm sure. Let's watch the throttle linkage in action. fuel tank seems pretty large. The shocks are fairly large. None of mine are leaking at all. No leaks anywhere. The diffs look dry. Well, see a little bit of moisture here. See a little bit of moisture there on that diff. Might not mean anything, but yeah, I think the big question here is how are the diffs and the drive shafts going to hold up, and nobody knows until we just run it and bash on it. But I think it's going to be a good basher. Easy to work on, easy to get to everything, pretty much. The wheels are a little cheap. They're kind of like, little plasticky feeling. I mean, they're just kind of a little hollow on the back. I'll probably swap those out for some Baja wheels, some Hostile tires, or some Pro Lines. Will probably help a lot. Air filter, probably swap that out, or at least put a outerwears over it. Oil it, make sure it's all oiled good. It's got another filter down in there that looks like it's oiled. Take that apart later and check it out. Let's see, clutch bell carriers, plastic. I'm sure somebody will make that in aluminum here pretty soon, and maybe get rid of these spacers. But doesn't look too bad. The shock towers are beefy. That's like almost half an inch thick, maybe 3/8. The hubs, if something was going to break, I would probably be watching these hubs. I would think here could kind of be a weak spot, but don't really know that for sure yet. Back in here, how's that going to hold up? But the arms, the arms are beefy. Turnbuckles look all right. Nice boots on there. These bulkhead braces here are pretty beefy. That's like 5 millimeters or so, probably. The chassis thickness looks pretty standard. Looks about like 4 millimeters, I think. But there's RC Driver magazine. Tony Phelan did a good little article last week, a few days ago, on this. Took some really great pictures that might give some more information than what you're getting here, so check that out. But definitely needs a battery upgrade. We're working on a good LiPo that'll fit in here, or a taller battery box lid, because it comes with a 1700 milliamp nickel metal hydride, and that just ain't cutting it. But we're gonna run it, bash it, and do some tumbles and see how it holds up, and let you know. Thanks, guys.